Hey guys, this is TheMTech, Matthew here, and today I'm going to show you a video on cable management. In the future, you're going to see a table of contents of my videos, but I'm not ready to have one right now, so I'm sorry for that. Okay guys, when I do a computer build, the first thing I usually plug in is this big 24-pin cable. This should be the thickest wire in your case, which also makes it the ugliest. So instead of just plugging it in like this, notice how much cable is left and how ugly that is. So to make things a lot cleaner, your case may or may not have rubber grommets or just holes here. So what I'd like to do is I just thread it through and around, and I just plug it in like this. So notice how much cleaner it is. Instead of seeing this big cable that goes from here to here, you have a cable that goes around and through. And the first step is done. Now we're going to plug in our motherboard supplemental power cable. Mine only has 4 pins, but yours may have 4, 8, or even 12 pins to plug in. So it's basically the same thing as a 24 pin. You just take it, you thread it under, through, and over the top, like this. Well, sorry guys, this might take a little bit. The fans are giving me a hard time. I'll show you when I'm done. Sorry. After all this is done, I usually plug in my SATA cables to power my hard drives or optical drives. I don't have an optical drive in this case, but I have 2 regular hard drives. One that I'm using for video editing and one that I'm using for just general use. So to do this, we need to plug in 2 of these wires. My power supply has a SATA cable that comes with 2 connectors, so it should be just enough. So what you just do is thread it around the back, and you just install them. The bottom one goes right here, and the top one, you just bend it back. The top one goes right there. So now, both your hard drives have power. So now, I'm going to start plugging in the fan connector. So the fan connector on this case, the Fractal Design R4, is powered by one Molex plug. So the CX430 only has wires with 3 Molex plugs and a floppy disk drive, but I only need 1 of these, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So you do the same thing as you do before, just thread it back around, and I take the fan controller and I just plug it in. So now we have to get rid of these wires. So what I like to do is I like to fold these up like this, so that's just a straight line, and zip tie it around. And then I would usually just hide it somewhere, like zip tie it to somewhere right here, here, or any of the holes that your case offers at the back. Okay, the next thing I like to do is I like to plug in my SATA cables. What SATA cables do is they transfer data from the motherboard to the hard drive and vice versa. So to start off, I only need 2 cables because I'm only installing 2 drives. So I usually like the right angle side and just plug this in and plug this in, and together just pull them around the back. And after I pull them around the back, I like to just plug it in and plug it in and just tuck these away. So now all your cables for your hard drive and motherboard are installed. Now guys, this may look messy at first, but if you take this into account, that the back panel, nobody's ever going to see it. So you can be as messy as you want with this, but really the only part that people are going to see is this front part. So I usually just do whatever with the back part. You can zip tie everything down, but I usually don't, because it's a lot easier to change stuff when you do. Okay guys, now it's time for these pesky front panel connectors. So what I usually do is I just bring them around the back, and I bring them all around the bottom panel, and I just plug them in from here. So the first thing you want to do is either your USB or USB 3.0. Mine has a 3.0, so I just plug this in right here, and we move on to the next step. Next is the HD audio. It should look a little bit like this. It looks a little bit like the USB, but don't get these confused. They should have HD audio or USB written on them. So now, what you have to do is line up the pins, and sorry guys, just plug it in. So after this, take the regular USB 2.0 and again line it up with the USB 2.0 spot on your motherboard and just plug this in too. Then you plug in your power switch. Mine goes right here. Yeah, right here. And your reset switch, which goes right here. And finally, your LEDs for your power button. But I can't seem to find mine anywhere. Oh, here it is. And just plug these bad boys in. And now, your front panel connectors are installed. So guys, we are almost done. Now all we have to do is just hide these leftover cables and plug in all the fans. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reattach this fan because it was ruining my ability to plug in this 4-pin CPU supplemental power. So let me just do this really quickly. There. Okay, so now we have to plug in these two fans. So again, your case may not have rubber grommets here, but they usually have holes, so I just put them straight through the hole. Right here. And this one straight through the hole. Right there. And if you turn the case around, I'm gonna do something unorthodox. I'm gonna plug in one for the CPU fan header and another one for the system fan header. Now what this is gonna do, it's gonna change the variables, but since my adapter, which turned two 4-pins into one 4-pin, is broken, I'm forced to do this. So sorry if it's a little bit clumsy. So I just thread this through, turn it back around, and plug them in. Like this. And like that. So now my CPU fan is installed with all the wires, and look how clean this looks. It's a lot better than just having wires all over your case. Okay guys, now for the last step, to hide all of these unnecessary wires. Now what I usually do is I just thread them through, turn it around really quickly, and really I just put them wherever. Like they're not very important, so you could just stuff them wherever you want. I usually just hide them, and since I don't have any fans here, I just put them straight in the drive bay, and they fit right in. So thank you guys. All we have to do now is just install these two fans, and then we are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the case around one more time, or actually for the second last time, and then find my two fan cables, which, oops, they're on this side. Sorry guys. Find my two fan cables, find my fan controller, plug one in, and plug the other one in. I just tuck these cables around for the last time. And sorry guys, this cable management is not good on this side, but hey, nobody's ever gonna see it. So I just line up my side panel and slide it in. Put in the thumb screws. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching my second video on cable management. And I hope to see you guys on PC Part Maker soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video helped you. And goodbye. This is TheMTech. I'll see you later.